language acquisition. My name is Vanessa Trincado. My name is Alexa Martinez.
I'm Chase Hart.
And we also have Gabby Sanchez. We are the Snickers group.
I'm Lexi Martinez, and I'm here today to talk to you about second language acquisition. Second language acquisition is the act of learning a second language after the first one is already established. Hi, my name is Vanessa. There are two different types of SLA. Acquired language is developed over long periods of time after having communicative interactions with people who speak the language. An example of this would be how children pick up language from a young age. Secondly, there is learned language, which involves a more formal and structured teaching. An example of this would be grammar and vocabulary learned in school. I'm Lexi Martinez. Unlike acquired language, during adulthood, there is not a continuous exposure to the second language, so it may become more difficult to develop over time. We already have a commitment to the sounds of words in our first language, so it is very challenging to sound like a native speaker in the second language. Breaking the language barrier. I'm Vanessa. There are many methods to teaching second language. Grammar translation is the most traditional approach, which teaches the second language like any other subjects taught in schools. Some of the methods practiced are memorizing grammar rules, vocabulary lists, written language, and more. In this method, spoken language is not emphasized, and students have trouble during conversational situations.
Contrary to the grammar translation method is the audiolingual method, which emphasizes spoken language by teaching through hierarchical structures and repetition. This means that you begin with the basics, then build up to more complex forms of the language after much rehearsal. One key note about this approach is that there is no regular conversation as part of the learning. In the communicative approach, students will practice the functions of language rather than the forms of language, and it brings up language used in different settings. Teachers also apply a method of focusing on the learner through transferring features of sound, expressions, and structures from the first language and apply to the second language. It also creates an in-between system, or interlanguage, where there are parts of the first language and second language that are very different. Finally, the teacher would allow for students to interact with each other to practice for better communicative competence and fluency.
My name is Chase Hart, and second language is important because different cultures come into contact with each other every day and need to communicate. Today's education, most schools focus on a need for bilingualism by providing foreign language classes. Most educational programs require a second language part. Most students who are provided bilingual education within their first years of schools, their level for proficiency in their second language increases. There are many advantages to being bilingual. Some of them are more job opportunities, higher wages for those jobs. You have the ability to communicate with different cultures, and you also will learn second languages more easily. Bilingual theories. The balance theory is a bilingual theory that suggests two languages exist in balance to each other and they are inversely related. This means that if you learn English and French, and English was your first language, if you overlearn French, you would be taking away from your knowledge of English. In contrast to the balance theory, the separate underlying proficiency model tells us that two languages have the ability to operate independently without transferring one language to the other. This model suggests that two languages operate on the same system so that you can use your previous knowledge of your first language to help you with acquire the new language. The analogy that is associated with this model is the view of two icebergs that are separate on top of the water, but if you look below the water, they fused together underneath it, suggesting that they are connected.
Hey guys, so my name is Gabby and I'm going to be talking to you about my personal experience with learning a second language. Basically, my story starts off with when I was 3 years old and I was diagnosed with cerebral ataxia. For what that means for people who don't know, basically cerebral ataxia is the shutting down of all your motor functions. So everything that you can do now, from walking, talking, eating, everything that you can do now without a problem, I had problems doing. And because of this, it severely affected my Spanish and my English. Here's why. When I was born, I originally knew Spanish first. Spanish was my first language. But when I had to go to speech therapy to regain the ability to talk, I was originally taught English instead of Spanish because I was to start school soon and my parents wanted me to learn English. So fast forwarding a little bit, I'm a little bit older and I'm in my Spanish classes in elementary and middle school, and I had difficulty speaking Spanish with my professors and my friends because Spanish for me was more difficult to pick up since I had it as my first language and then I lost it and it was replaced with another. So because it was replaced with another language, since it was replaced with English, I guess I had difficulty acquiring Spanish as my second language. Basically, the most simplest of words, from chair to hand to arm to desk to book, I had trouble knowing the Spanish translation for them. I would frequently go back and forth between Spanish and English, and even now at the age of 21, I know Spanish, but sometimes I will forget words in the middle of my sentence that I'm saying in Spanish to my mom or to my dad or to my grandma. And it has been hard for me, it really has, but I've been able to little by little slowly pick up what I've lost and slowly start to incorporate it in my daily life.
If you would like to gain further knowledge on second language acquisition, please visit this YouTube video by our friend Boti.
Hey guys, it's Gabby again. So just to wrap up what we learned about second language acquisition, we learned that there's many ways of learning on how to acquire a second language, and we also learned the benefits of acquiring a second language in today's society. We learned that acquiring a second language makes you more prominent in the workforce as well as in other areas and opportunities. As well as we learned of different varieties of learning a new language, as well as different methods. So, just want to say thanks for sticking around and watching and listening to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, have an awesome